Hi, good evening everyone. Today we will be starting with the second video of LWC series. In the last video we have covered the hello world example that is very much helpful in order to understand how the LWC component work. In this session we will be understanding how we can make our component dynamic. We can do this using data binding and reactive property. This is the most powerful feature that we will be using in almost every project of LWC that we will be considering further. So now let's understand the data binding. In the yesterday session, we only have created a template where we have taken a HTML series and taken H1 where we have put hello world in our message. But let's assume that if you want to make it dynamic, you don't want to keep static value at that point and you need a dynamic value. So here comes the concept of data binding. So data binding can be done by two methods. First is interpolation, that is adding a dynamic variable in the curly braces, and second is through track variable or reactive properties, through which we can re-render our components as soon as our message get re-rendered in JavaScript. It get updated in the HTML template as well. So let's start creating a simple example in the Visual Studio Code. So I have opened my Visual Studio Code. So first thing that we will be doing is we will be creating a new component, that is interpolation example. So let's click Ctrl Shift P and here interpolation example. And as soon as I've done this, my design has been created. So now what I will be doing here, let's introduce lightning card here. Lightning card helped me in order to keep the white skin at the background. So let's make it lightning card and title is equal to resource detail. And further, after writing this, the first thing that I will be doing is let's take the example that it is giving me. So because LWC is so much helpful, it just provide multiple things. So here we have taken the resource name equal to curly braces. We have taken a variable resource name, and next thing that we will be taking here is resource designation. Resource, let's take it, and here we will be changing it. Resource designation, and further let's close this p tag, and further here what we will be doing, here we will be taking resource designation. So you might be thinking, Trishu, how you are giving it the dynamic? So we will give the dynamic value inside our JavaScript file. So let's save this out. So I hope we are doing some mistake here. So let's yes, everything is right. So yeah, yes, the div is not getting closed here. So let's close the div here. So now everything has been saved in the. So now we will be taking these two variables in our JavaScript file. So what we will be doing, inside the class, we will be taking the first variable. So resource, these already came here. So let's do the tab, and here I will be taking my name, that is Trishu Sachdeva, and here I will be taking full-time trainer Salesforce Sachdeva. Full-time trainer Salesforce by Sachdeva. So let's save this out. Don't forget to update the XML file, otherwise our component will not get visible on the home page. So let's do target is exposed equal to true, and second thing what we will be doing, targets, and here we will be taking target. So here we get all the options of the target that yesterday is not coming. So now it got rendered. So let's save this out, and by doing this our component is ready. So let's deploy this out and let's see if we are facing any issue here. So I don't think there should be any issue. No, there is no issue. So our component is successfully deployed. Now it is a time to take final action in order to see if the component is getting visible here. So what we will be doing, we will be selecting edit page here. So as soon as I click edit page here, and if I go here in my custom component, you will be seeing the interpolation example is coming. So for now, we will be deleting our first hello world component that we have created yesterday, and in place of it, we will be landing over this interpolation example. So you will be seeing now the white skin is coming, that is not coming yesterday. This is just due to we have used a lightning card, and this is resource details. So as soon as I click save, my changes have been made, and now you will be seeing your details are coming here that you have updated. Now our simple example is ready. So now let's make this example more interactive. What we will be doing, we will be using an input checkbox, input field, and on change of it, we will be changing the value as well. So what we will be doing here in the interpolation example, we will be going in the HTML and we will be playing around with the resource name only. We will not play around with the designation, but we will be playing around with the resource name. So what we will be doing, we will be taking lightning input. So lightning colon input and LWC input. So by doing this, it has provided me the full use case from where we can use this. So what I will be doing, so here text, that is name, my bad, that is text, and further here label, enter your name, enter your name, and further after doing this, what we will be doing, we will be taking the on change value since it is giving me directly. So what we will be doing, yeah, on, let's set the value as resource name that it is giving me, and on change I am using a handle change. So let's save this out, and as soon as we make the changes here, and if I try to deploy this out without making any further change, you will be seeing the resource name will be coming directly here, that is so let's first get it deployed. So it got deployed now. So after deploying, if I refresh this out, so you will be seeing that there should be input field. So it has not been refreshed now. So the Trishu Deva is coming directly here. So you are getting error as soon as you are making the changes here. So we will be playing around with this further because we have added on change method. So what we're doing, we will be giving a definition of on change method. So what we will be doing, so let's, oh my bad, where is my Visual Studio code? Yes. So what we will be doing, we will be copying this method handle change, and we will be going into the JavaScript. So you might be thinking that Trishu has started the JavaScript. Yes, we are playing around with JavaScript and it has already been giving me a script. So handle event. So this dot resource name is equal to event dot target dot value. So we are using this keyword in order to set the value of resource name. Earlier it is Trishu Sasiva. So as soon as I make the changes here, and again if I try to deploy this out, so now my, oh my bad, yeah, I am selecting a delete. So I don't have to delete the same. So let's deploy it again. So I know that it is hectic in triggers, we directly do the code, and here we have to deploy it again and again. But hopefully you will get familiar with this concept because Salesforce had made the standard that you have to do it like this only. So if you now refresh it, so again we will be refreshing this for twice. So now if I select Ramesh, so you are seeing on the value is changing on the real-time basis. Ramesh Verma, so it is getting well updated on the real-time basis. So you might be thinking how this is happening. This is the power of data binding and interpolation. So now you might be thinking that Trishu, by doing this, the magic is happening. The interpolation is only required. Why you have told us that we need to use a track method? Yes, we don't need to use a track method in the primitive value types like string and simple type. For example, like what is reactive in the nature? So as soon as we are changing the value in the input field, it is getting the value updated in our HTML as well. So let's take an example. We are taking Ramesh Verma. So it is getting, when the value is getting populated from here, it is going on to change value method, and from change value it is getting settled here. But let's take an example if we have taken the object instead of a value. Let's take an example. We have resource name and resource designation both binded in the form of array. So let's take an example of track example where the track is actually used. So let's minimize this and let's go on to our Visual Studio Code. And instead of this, what we will be doing, we will be taking a resource is equal to curly braces, and then further it is giving me name and designation. So let's take an example. You have taken this, and further what you have taken instead of this dot resource dot name. So you need to take care that JavaScript is case sensitive, so you have to take a small variable. So let's take it like this, and further once we are done with this, and let's change the value from there as well. So what we will be doing, instead of this we will be taking resource dot name, resource dot name, and here what we will be taking, resource dot designation. So yes, we are good now. So just we will be again deploying this. First let's check if we are not making any mistake. So resource dot name and resource dot designation, yes, everything is settled. So now let's deploy this. I haven't done one thing here. Here also in the input change, what I need to do, I need to make it resource.name because we are taking object now. So let's deploy this out. Let's deploy this out. So as soon as we deploy this, you will be seeing your reactive nature that is coming earlier, where the Ramesh Verma is getting updated on a real-time basis. It will not happen now. So let's move here on the Salesforce side, and let's refresh this out. So now let's take, everything is coming as it is, even not an issue. Just this resource dot name is not coming now. So you might be thinking why this is not coming, because we have lost the reactive nature here. So in order to achieve the reactive nature, what we need to do, we need to just import one decorator that Salesforce provide, that is track variable. So what we will be doing, we will be taking @track. Once we are done with this, we have to import this out so that our track variable get. So now by doing this, your reactive nature will get as it is, that is happening earlier. So let's try to deploy this out and check if again we are facing the same issue or we are able to see the data. So as soon as we deploy this out, and after deploying, if I go on my Salesforce and if I refresh this out, so let's refresh this again. So no, this has not happened now. So we were doing a small mistake here. I have taken the N capital, whereas everywhere we have taken it small. So let's save this out and again let's deploy this out. That's why our code was not working earlier, but we have achieved the reactiveness earlier. So what we will be doing, we will be just refreshing this out, and let's see if now we are able to do the things here. So let's make it Ramesh Verma, and now you are able to see that everything is working as it is earlier with the object as well. And if you want to do it same with the array as well, you can do it. So where this reactive properties and dynamic binding can be used. So it can be used wherever the data is required. So recently I was filling my provident fund form. So there we need to update the bank account number in order to get the money out of it. So as soon as I put my account number, it get re-rendered on the same screen after I validated the same data. So in that example, the real where the real data example is coming, like we always see a share market charts where the data is coming on a real-time basis. Someone will be updating that. I know that we have done the integration and there is API that is giving us a real-time basis. So from at the back end of it, we will be doing it. So this complete our today video. So in the next video, we will be understanding what is conditional rendering. So I hope you like my content. If you like my content, please subscribe my channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon for more such notifications. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Have a nice day.